Now let's get to question number 4. All right, question number 4. This is a good one. It says, how to use the NEQ music principles to play old gospel style. Well, that's going to be a whole webinar on its own. All right, whole webinar on its own, as well as some more training that you guys are going to love coming in another little short while. Or you're going to be seeing it. Okay. However, like the song that I played at the beginning, there are certain things. All right. So if you picture songs are like different languages. All right. Or sorry, different styles are like different dialects of a language. So if you have English, regular English, if you have British English, it sounds like a different English. If you have Patois English, that's the Jamaican English, it's different. So those are different dialects of the language. Same thing with styles of music. So the old gospel style is a different dialect of music. So once you understand how to say, hello, how are you? Well, if you say it in British, I can't do I'm not an actor, so I can't do the British, hello, how are you? I can't do it. Jamaican accent, that's not that good. Well, how you do? Or whatever, you know what I'm saying? I can't do it as well. However, those are different dialects. So the same thing with the old gospel style. So once you understand the vocabulary, once you understand the different tools, how to use the AKMS principles with that style, then it makes more sense. So for example, we had, there's a song called My God is Real. All right, so all those things are little devices, which I call accessories. So there's a whole bunch of things. Now I'll be breaking down one that you're going to see in your membership next week. All right, so that you can see that old style. But it starts with this. All right, we're in the key of G. All right, now that device from the D, all semitones down to the E. Now what were we doing? And why does that work? Why did he use it? Well, I'm going to let you know. Actually, before I let you know, what do you think it is? What is this? Okay, I'm talking about this little walk here. All right, what principle is that known as? It's known as the AKMS principle called approaches. All right, approaches, we know that we do the exercises in volume 4 where we do it on the left hand. However, that's a principle. Practice is I'm just doing it on my left hand. However, it can be used everywhere. All right. So if I'm using this was an approach because I was trying to get to my 3. Because I was trying to get to my 3, I took how many semitones as my approach? I took a 1, 2, and 3 semitones above my destination. So my destination was the 3. I hope I'm not losing you, but I know I'm not. So therefore, so let's say I'll just take that one device, okay? Guys, like I said, I want to keep this to 30 minutes, and like I can just go for at least another hour and a half to break down all the things of this song. But anyhow, so let's say we had our device, right? We were trying to get to the 1 chord. So that we were trying to get to the 1, all right? And the walk that we did, which was an approach, was in the key of G. D is exactly, it's a 5. All right, what is C sharp? Flat 5, okay? Then the C is a 4, and that because it was trying to get to here. It was trying to get to our number 3, all right? And as we know, this is our indicator note, and that's why it's telling us why we can play this chord. So, and then we had this, okay? So therefore, it was an approach trying to get here, all right? And then I had a chord that slipped in that was a 5, augmented, okay? And then it went back to the 1, okay? So let's say this could have been like this. It could have been like this. All right? Actually, I should be doing it in segments of 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3 with the 1 again. All right, so instead of doing it in 4 like this, all right? So they did all this because really what this was originally, this was just all 1s, all right? It was 1s all stretched out. However, they did a little device that you can use here. All right, and the melody had on the top of, it went like this. All right, C in the key of G, which you know, that's right, is a 4. So I'm going to put the 4 at the top of this. All right, this is how I know how I created chords. Now, I didn't create the chords. I mean, how I learned the chords on my own. I understood certain principles, and as I got the principles, I put the principles together. When I put all these principles together, it actually naturally formed these beautiful arrangements. However, I was just thinking principles, and I wasn't thinking as hard and just putting them together. So, for example, there's a couple principles here. One here, this was obviously we know that was a approach. All right, we had a 1, and then my left hand, right, plays a 5 augmented. All right, so the 5 augmented chord, and obviously we know that the 5 has okay, so an augmented chord, right, has this in it. All right, I'm not going to give you guys the answer. All right, and don't do a Google search. All right, here's how you find it. I'm just going to play the 3 notes. All right, in the key of C. All right, that's C. All right, so find that note on your piano, then find this note. All right, and then find this note. That's an augmented chord. When you find that chord, identify what numbers are in it, okay? That's the best way how to learn stuff. Don't have someone just give you all the answers. You can find it for yourself, all right? So that's what an augmented chord contains. Whether you use it on the 1, 2, 3, or 4, wherever you use it, it contains a 1, a, and a number in it, okay? So that's an augmented. So that's the chord I'm playing here. So I'm playing that with my left hand. So my left hand plays the 5 augmented. Now we're in the key of G. All right, I don't know if you can see that. Let's see if you can see that. All right, so you can't see the G, but that's okay. There's a G over here, okay? All right, so let's say you went to the G, all right? That's your left hand playing the G. However, I have also my right hand playing the 4. However, I'm playing the 4 very close. So I put it here, all right? So I had... All right, and if I want, I can also play the notes like that, or just have it totally take over with one hand, as frees up this hand to do whatever if I'm playing without a bass player. All right, so the more, if there's a bass player, then the more, right, I can actually separate and so forth. Okay, so I had the 4 there. So we had, all right, and then the last one. All right, I'm going to put it like this. This chord here. All right, what I did is I did a B, I had an F, a B, and a G, and I'm telling you what it is. However, I'm going to tell you what chord that is. It's basically in the key of G. That's a 3 diminished. However, I'm going to make it at the top of it, I'm going to put a 5. Okay? Now, these are all individual numbers. Okay? Hopefully you can see that clear. But as I'm talking, I want you to squint, right? Because I don't want it to be everything all visual. The visual, obviously, in hearing and understanding. I want you to trigger your mind. So basically, we have that. So we have the 3, the 5 augmented with the 4, and then we have the B, the 3 augmented, however, the 3 diminished. However, this diminished, as you know, it naturally has a B, D, F. F in the key of G is what number? F in the key of G is exactly, it's the flat 7. So B, D, right? Now, I want to switch this chord so that the note at the top of it is a 5. So for the note to be at the top to be a 5 in the key of G, we know the 5 in the key of G is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I want that 5 at the top of it, obviously down there. So I have to invert the chord. So I take this F, put it lower, all right? So there we go. There's my 5 right there, or the 3 diminished, and my 5 is at the top. So now when I play it, all right? All right? Now, here's a characteristic of that sound, that old gospel sound, is they're always having what's called dominant chords. And dominant chords contain, usually, all right? So let me just put it like here. Dominant chords contain the 1, the 3, and if you're going to put 4 notes, it has a 5, and it has the flat 7. Okay, so dominant chords contain the 1, 3, 5, and flat 7. Now, sometimes you can play just the 1 and flat 7, the 1, 5, and flat 7, or the 3 and flat 7. But it has to have the flat 7 in there to make it dominant. Another time I'll go into the reason why it's really called dominant, okay? So a lot of times, every chord, instead of playing the regular 1 or the regular 1 here, they're playing dominant chords, all right? So you have, at my left hand, I played a 1, 5, and flat 7 as a voicing, all right? So let's say what I would do, and this is what's the point of the any key music system of being able to play in every key. What you do with that now, let's say I told you that. Let's say in the key of G I have the 1, the 5, and the flat 7, right? And the first thing that I played was, all right? So what you do now, you don't stop there. You go into the key of C. All right? Actually, we're going to do it right now. Okay, we're going to do it very quickly. All right? So let's say this. We're going to go, all right? F, B flat, E flat, next key. Now, that wasn't the beat. You know, I would be like, right? Because that's how we played it in the other style. Okay? So, you would actually use that. Because why? If I'm playing, let's say O and the Saints. Or I'll put this part in there. O and the Saints. Watch this. Do you see what I'm doing? I'm taking some of those principles and just applying it where I can use it, all right? So we have the 5 here. Why does this work, all right? Because this is also not only an augmented, this is a type of hoot, all right? The hoot, as you can see, is the 5, and 5 takes you where? All right, it's taking you to the 1. However, we have 3 principles here. A principle of the 1, right? Because the indicator note that we want, obviously, is a 5, and the 5 is in the 1. So we have the 1 chord, and now we have the 3 diminish on there. How do you use a diminished chord? I'll leave it. I'll leave that up to you. All right, in terms of figuring that out. However, we have it in the course. I explain how to use a diminished chord. All right, it's very simple. All right. So therefore, and this is holding out. This is also going to be. This is just. I'm just leaving this blank because it's going to be repeated here. All right, because this is taking us somewhere. What is the chord is that this is taking us to? The chord after that is taking us to number 4, okay? And as you can see, how far is the 3 from the 4? A semitone or a tone. Exactly. That's why the diminished can work. That's just a quick nutshell how it can work. All right? We go into reasons why and how to form it and all that stuff. But right now, that's just a quick thing, as you know. So, therefore, that's how you get that sound. The 3 diminished over the 1. All right? So what you do, and when you actually look at that chord, you'll see that it actually forms a dominant chord as well. So you use that in your playing. So let's say I was playing, once again, O and the Saints. Now, those are little other things with that style. Now, once again, I'm going to cover more on that style in the actual membership and on another webinar that's going to be coming up. However, so to get that old gospel style, we have to equip ourselves with a whole bunch of these tools, okay, and a lot of these accessories. So one of them, we're going to only cover this one today. I would like you to get this, all right? Just get this and start using it. That's very, very simple. If I played it in Mary Had a Little Lamb, we're in the key of G. All right, so what did I do here? In the key of G, as you can see, this is the D, E, G, A, B. Okay, So what did I do there? That's an accessory. Okay? That's an accessory. All right? All I did, I played a D, E, G, A, and a B. Okay? Now in the key of G, what numbers are those? This is the 1. All right? What is this? Exactly. 5, 6, 1, 2, 3. Really, what I was trying to get to, guys, I was trying to get to the B. So I did a type of approach. Now, what type of approach is this? All right? What type of approach? Exactly. It's a numbers approach. However, as you know, you learn in any key music system the principle of approaches. We can use 1 semitone, 2 semitones, 3 semitones, 1 number, 2 number, 3 numbers. However, you can start making combinations. Now, this combination is a combination that is a lot of that's used a lot in that old gospel style, and it's known as also a major pentatonic. So major pentatonic is also used in gospel a lot, and there's a very spiritual reason why that is used all the time. However, but that major pentatonic is always used, and this is also forms the foundation of the blues scale. All right, all those notes. All you got to do is add one more note here, and you can actually form a blues scale. So that's why they can use that in that gospel. All right, because that stems from the major pentatonic. It stems from the blues scale. So that's what you'll find in that style that has a lot of the blues. I hope I'm not losing you. As you can see, it's going to take a lot longer for me to explain all that. I'm going a lot longer than I actually planned here. All right, so this is going to have to be definitely a part 2 or a part 5 to fully break this down. So all you got to do is learn those devices, but I'll be going through those devices on another webinar as we go along. Okay, so right now you can grab some of these things and use it. So therefore, if I was always trying to get to my 3 in Mary Had a Little, and let's say I want to go, so I can go. Now let's say I wanted to get here, and I can use it. All right, you get it? All right, so once again, we'll have specific exercises for you to break that down. All right, I am way over my time, guys. Okay, let me finish with this. Can you demonstrate using the AKMS principles on chord charts? Okay, just